Calvin Castine at the Bowl Mart Lanes, just outside of beautiful downtown Rouse's Point. It's the 10th day of December 2013. I'm back again. I was here last night and found out that the bowling match was tonight. It's Andrew Baker for Beekmantown and Kevin Sterling for the Cougars. Baker leaves double wood up there. He leaves probably the 2-9, I guess, or 3-9. The split here for Sterling, he's going to get 9 for the frame. This will bring up Skylar Fountain for the Eagles. It's Beekmantown Eagles at Northeastern Clinton here at the Bowl Mart. Temperature in probably in the low 30s. I didn't really pay much attention. All I know is the wind's blowing and it's cold out there. I think it's mid-20s right now. And getting colder. That's Andrew Visconti throwing it a little bit too far to the left. Is Fountain going for his spare? He's going to miss it. He's going to put it in the gutter. These are the B's. They have the A's right next door, and over that way is the girls. So because we can see the A's, we're going to stick around when the B's get done and cover the A's in the next round. And then move game 3 to the girls. Visconti looking for a 10-pin spare. He's going to get about 3 or 4 of them. There's Morgan Brown. And Brown picks up 6 pins on his first ball. The original league schedule had the Cougars on a lot of Mondays, and that worked out great for me because not much other sports going on Mondays. But because the bowling alley here, this was Dylan Porter, and there's Brown missing his spare. Because the Bowl Mart has a league that starts at 7, and these guys don't start till 4, it just made it too much of a close encounter for them to keep those Monday games. So that's going to mess up my coverage of the bowling. Okay, we got a flip-flop on the girls already, and from Charlie Stone, the Beekmantown coach. He gave me a lineup, and then for some reason the number 1 and number 2 bowlers flip-flopped. Here's Stephen Mayo, and this here should be the last guy, Denon Walantis. Austin Delisle snuck up there while I was talking to Charlie Stone. There's a strike. So we have back-to-back strikes for Beekmantown. Cougars have just 4 B bowlers, so they have an open spot for the 5th bowler. And so there should be 9 bowlers here, so this should move a little faster than the just they got to learn how to push the button so that the scoreboard knows to move along there. Anybody know what button to push in there? It looks like a regular typewriter, doesn't it? Sort of. So Sterling doesn't want to start bowling until it's been reset. So I don't know if Coach Rick Dumas will come over or what's happening. They'll figure it out, I guess. I decided to cover these guys, so I figured it'd be faster than the A's, but they're falling behind briefly. Oh, another, he likes those splits. That's the Sterling ball. Here's Baker now for Beekmantown. He's working on an open. Baker leaves 10 pin. Sterling with a double pinnacle. He'll get 2 of them. So he'll get 8 for that frame. And we got Baker going for his spare, and Andrew Visconti stepping up for the Cougars. Baker will hook his way or slice his way, whatever. Hooked it. Didn't get the spare he was hoping for. That's more of a slice right there from Visconti. Now we got Skylar Fountain up for the Eagles. He's working on an open. He'll get all but the 1-2 pin. Visconti will leave the 1-3. Give him 8 for the frame. And here's Fountain. Fountain misses it, so he'll get 8 for the frame. And I'll bring up Dylan Porter for the Cougars. And Porter gets 8 pins, leaves the 1-3 in his first ball. Here's Morgan Brown. And Brown looks like he picked up maybe 2, 3 at the most. Porter picks up his spare. And give Brown about 5 or 6 for the frame. Here's Mayo for the Cougars, and Mayo is right in the middle, leaves the 6, 7, 10. Now we got Austin Delisle. He snuck up there and struck while he was distracted there in the first frame. And he shows us just exactly how he did it with another strike. There's Mayo going for his split. And he'll get 7 for the frame. That'll bring us to Denon Walantis. He's working on a strike. He said, I want to try that 6, 7, 10. I want to try that. So that's what he leaves himself. And Baker will be up to start the 3rd frame for the Eagles. Oh, gave it a good shot. Just got the 10, but if he could have nipped that 6 and sent it over to the 7, it could have been interesting. A solid 5 pin left by Baker in his first ball in the 3rd. Sterling will step up now for the Cougars. So it's going to be a tight year. Cougars starting at 4 o'clock. Makes it real tough for me to make these games and still get to basketball games in a timely manner. So I'm going to have to really pick and choose here. So we're not going to get the number of Sterling gets 8 for the frame. Number of bowling matches that we have in the past. We're very seldom do we miss a bowling match. This year we've already missed 1. We did the schedule and I apparently didn't pay attention to the notice because I didn't realize they had an opening game here at the Bowl Mart on the 4th. Today's the 10th. So Visconti gets just one pin on his first ball. Here's Fountain going for his spare. He's going to get all but the 3-5, so he'll get 8 for the frame. Visconti is going to put it in the gutter. Now we've got Morgan Brown. Brown with a strike. It's his first mark. Where's Mayo? Go. Move it. Mayo gets 7 pins. Was that Porter? It's Porter, excuse me. No, it's Mayo. It's Mayo, excuse me. Another strike for Austin Delisle. That's 3 in a row for Delisle. Porter leaves the 1, 2, 4. Hey, you miss it. And here is Rolantis. And leaves the 3-10. Okay, now we got Mayo for the Cougars. And Mayo left most of a picket fence. Let's go between them. No, oh, good try. I almost got that 10. And Mayo left the 3-6-10. And we got Sterling stepping up, ready to start the 4th frame. That'll be 7 for the frame for Mayo. There's Sterling. And Sterling got a little help there with that drop of the 7 pin. It leaves him just the 1-3-6. And Andrew Baker stepping up. And spare for Sterling. And a gutter from Baker to start the 4th frame for the Eagles. Here's Visconti. He has 27 through 3 frames. He gets 4 pins. And he's going to go with the double gutter for Baker. Visconti. He's going to slide into the gutter, so he'll get 4 for the frame. And bring up Skylar Fountain. Fountain gets a strike. His first mark, I think. And we got Porter. Porter leaves just the 2 pin. And Morgan Brown steps up. Brown with a strike. That's a double for him. We got Mayo up. No, yeah, Mayo. No, it's not Mayo. This is Porter. Porter gets a spare. And a strike for Delisle. Now we've got Mayo. leaves the 1-2-4. And Walontis up. 2 strikes. Delisle has 4 strikes, by the way, if you're counting along at home. So he's off to a good start. Mayo's going to miss his spare. There's Sterling. Sterling gets 9 pins, leaves the 6. Andrew Baker leaves the 3 pin. We're in the 5th frame. Sterling just missed by that much. And Baker covers his. Well, he gets a mark. His 2nd mark for the game, it looks like. And we got Andrew Visconti in lane 15. Visconti leaves the 1-3-6. And we got a strike from Skylar Fountain. That's a double for Fountain. 2 strikes in a row. And Visconti going for his spare. And he got just the head pin. And 9 pins for Morgan Brown. Dylan Porter. Porter leaves the picket fence. And Brown misses his spare. Porter, it's 8. And Delisle has his first non-strike. After 4 in a row, he picks up 7 pins in his first ball. There's Mayo. And Mayo with a strike. And Delisle going to have an open after 4 strikes. He gets an open here in the 5th. Well, there's so many people that I never ever want to mention, folks, because people say, what about so-and-so and so-and-so? There's 9 pins for Walontis, and Baker set to start the 6th frame. When I was watching the bowling here, I remember how much Anna Gooley used to enjoy watching bowling on Hometown Cable. And she left us about a month ago at the age of 92. There's a strike for Baker. And here's Walontis looking to pick up the 10 pin. And he'll miss it. Hit it in the gutter. Oh, we got Skylar Fountain. Picks up a couple of pins. And Sterling in the 6th frame. Almost got the spare. That was the Fountain. Go back to those scores there. The problem here with this particular monitor, you can't see the bottom. So you have to remember what the score is from one team to the other. Sterling's going to miss his spare. And Brown will strike for Morgan Brown. Here's Visconti. Oh, 1386, 1368. We have Delisle waiting to bowl for the Eagles, and Visconti going for his spare. And he'll get 6 for the frame now, Delisle. I'm not sure if it was on the corner of the screen or not, but Chris Polks had a very tough spare, and I think he had 2 on one side and 3 on the other, I think. Looking on it, and I think he picked it up, so he got a little excited. Porter gets 9 pins. Here's Delisle getting 6 for the frame. And he says, this game started out so good. He got after 4 strikes, 2 opens in a row. Here's Mayo. Mayo misses his, no, it's not Mayo, that's Porter missing his spare. Volantis left 2 pins. That looks like the 2-5. Now we got Mayo. Volantis. Oh, we had double wood there. We had a 8-pin hiding on the. And I think I've been calling the 9-pin, 8-pin, I think, over in the, getting into my bowling mode for the year here. I think I've been calling the 9-pin an 8-pin here when it's been on the right side of the, instead of on the left side. 1-2 left for Mayo. Give him 8 for the frame. It'll bring up Sterling, so it's strike for Sterling. And 7 pins for Baker. Baker was working on a strike. Visconti gets a couple of pins. And Baker will pick up his spare. So let's see, we can see the total now, right now. The Cougars on this side, we can see the total because they only have 4 bowlers. So it's 235 to 422. There's an open. There's Fountain. And Fountain with a strike. There's nothing to it. Nothing to it. I figured it out. Now I know what to do. I'll do it every time. Dylan Porter. Little lemon drop knocks down 6 pins. Here's Brown. Brown leads a solid 5. What the solid pin is. A solid 5 pin right smack dab in the middle. Porter. I missed that head pin. You get 7 for the frame. And a spare for Morgan Brown. Hits it to Stephen Mayo for the Cougars. Austin Delisle for the Eagles. And Delisle picks up his 5th strike of the game. And Mayo has 5 pins down. Walantis will step to the plate after Mayo serves. And Mayo gets 8 for the frame. Walantis leaves a 1-2. Walantis with a spare. Well, we are starting the 8th frame. Yeah, I guess we completed 7. Sterling up. He's 3-6-7, and we have a complete miss there from Baker. There's Sterling with a tough spare. He's gonna give it a shot. Give it a shot. Give him 8 for the frame. Baker looking for a 10-pin spare. He was going to get a shot at it. Leaves a 5. It's 9 for the frame. Now Visconti up. This is viewer-supported local television, folks. If you're watching this, we need your support to keep doing this. We really need to hear from you bowling fans. It's going to be tough for us to be here. Fountain gets 8 pins. Porter up for the Cougars. And Porter gets 6 pins on his first ball. We're just going to miss that spare. Fountain gave it a shot, but he just couldn't make contact with that 4 pin. There's Porter. And Porter has himself a spare. We got Brown. And Brown leaves the 3-6-10. And Mayo will step up for the Cougars. And Mayo strikes. And 10 pins left. We'll give him 9 for the frame. Brown gets us to Delisle, and anytime Baker wants to start the 9th frame, he should feel free to do so. And Delisle leaves the 4-7-8. I'll give him a 7 for the frame, and here's Launtis. Baker will strike, start the 8th. Sterling did it. Sterling with a strike. There's Fountain getting a couple of pins. Visconti's up. Long on to get a pin. Doesn't really matter, he's working on a strike, so now or next time doesn't matter. Fountain gets 8 for the frame. I'll bring up Baker. Baker will get, make that, Visconti will get 1 for the frame. There's Baker. Leaves the 1-3. And Porter stepping up for the Cougars. For the first ball. Baker will pick up his spare. Excuse me, Brown will pick up his spare, not Baker. Baker and a Brown. There's Porter. Oh, field goal. There's Delisle. There's a solid 5 pin. There's Mayo. Mayo with a strike. Delisle will pick up his spare. Well, that was a double for the male. Here's Voluntis. He's a 6'10", 3'10", 3'10". Nice pair for Voluntis. And it'll get us to the 10th frame. And a strike to start things by Baker. Sterling. And Sterling follows suit. Looks up at Ma and says, how'd I do? Oh, there's a first fill ball for Baker. There's Sterling's first fill ball here in the 10th. He gets 7 pins. Baker will get 2 more. Sterling wrapping up his first game. And he gets the spare. It gives him a 133. Baker had a 134. How do you like that, huh? So we got Skylar Fountain coming up for the Eagles, and Visconti taking his sweet time here. Visconti gets 5. Now Fountain. He's got 5. Visconti will get 7 for the frame. I'll give him a 53 for the first game. And a spare for Fountain. Fountain will get a fill ball. Porter up now for the Cougars. And 5 more. 125 for Fountain to bring up Brown. And we got Porter throwing his second ball in the 10th. Give him 7 for the frame. We'll give him a 113. Brown. He'll get 8 on his fill ball. There's Mayo. In the gutter on his first one there in the 10th. Brown. He picks up the spare. So he'll get a full ball. And a double whammy for Mayo. In the 10th, after a double 2 strikes, he could see that 100 plus. He knew it was a sure thing. And he ended up throwing 2 better balls. So it's going to be a disappointing finish there for Mayo. Especially when the eyes of the world are on you here via hometown cable. There's Baker, and Baker will get 8. His fill ball, giving a 152, so he's a high man at the moment. There's your Cougar finishers. And game 1. So Austin Delisle is almost a sure thing to surpass Baker, but we just saw a double gutter, so anything is possible. 8 strikes. And Delisle did not strike. He had a spare, so he gets an open and ends up with a 169. So he'll be the high man in his first game, starting it off, as you recall, with 4 strikes. Alontis will wrap it up. 3 strikes. 132, but the best he can do is a 162, so he's not the best Delisle in this one. He gets 9 pins on that one. He's got a 152 plus whatever you can get with this ball, which is a maximum of 1 more. And he'll get it. He'll get it. And the 153. Oh, 152, excuse me, 152. Well, that'll wrap up the first game here in the B division. And we'll be back in a moment with the A's, so don't go away. The A team is wrapping up their first game. So we got a 197, a 181, 191, 202 thus far. It's James St. Dennis, Austin Recor, Matt Coral, Ryan Munson for Beekmantown. Ryan Douglas is still bowling. For the Cougars, we see Cokes with a 208, Chris Cokes, Mark Furman 156, Justin Japan 114, Matt Joliker 185, and Joey Roberts still bowling. Triple for Douglas gives him a 168, team total 939. For the Eagles, they will best the Cougars as Robert finishes with a 158. 821 to 939 in the first game, Beekmantown. We are set to go with the second game for the A team. Here's Chris Cokes. He's a 1-2-4. And James St. Dennis will step up for Beekmantown. He'll start it off with a strike. Cokes going for his spare. And he will pick it up. Split is to Austin Recor for Beekmantown. Mark Furman will step up to the line for the Cougars. And a strike for Recor. And 1-2-4 left for Furman. Matt Coral will be the bowler for Beekmantown. And Coral gets 6 pins. And Furman picks up a spare. That'll bring up Justin LePan for Northeastern. And we've got Coral going for his spare. Coral spares. And LePan strikes to start things. Well, Ryan Munson. And he gets 9 pins. Leaves the 6. Bring up Matt Jolliker. And Jolliker's first ball is in the pocket. It's a strike. And a spare for Munson. Joey Robert for the Cougars. There's the 4-7. Ryan Douglas up for Beekmantown. And Douglas leaves just the 2 pin. There's the lefty Robert. And he covers his spare. And just barely getting his was Douglas. Not sure what that 50-50 is all about there for the team totals. I'm zooming in here as James St. Dennis strikes to start the second. Oaks strike. Austin Recor. Recor gets a little help there. This leaves the 1-2-3-5. There's Furman for the Cougars. There's the 1-2-4. And Recor will pick up his spare. Considering how that first ball entered the fray, it turned out to be a pretty good frame for him. Yeah, he got a lot more pins to drop than it looked like it was going to happen. Here's Furman. It's the head pin, but just didn't get enough meat. Here's Matt Coral as LePan, working on the strikes, steps up in lane 13. There's Coral. He gets a strike. Lapan a lefty. There's a 1-2-8 double wood. I'll have Munson up for Beekmantown. And Munson strikes. Lapan going for his spare. He will miss it, so he'll get 7 for the frame. There's Douglas, Ryan Douglas, and he strikes. Joliker up for the Cougars. And Joliker with a strike. Robert rolling up a tough little spare here. Looks like the 3-6-7. 3-6-7. That'll be a toughie for him. We'll get 9 for the frame, 1 for the wood. And anytime Cokes wants to step up, he can start the next frame. But St. Denis is going to beat him to it. James St. Denis. And St. Denis gets a strike. Here's Cokes. Cokes gets a strike. It's a double for him and a triple for St. Denis. There's Recor up for Beekmantown. He threw himself a gutter ball. Working on a spare. And then up Furman for Northeastern. Furman leaves the 1-3-6. And 10-pin spare for Recor. So he salvages the frame. Doesn't get anything on his first spill ball and for the first ball to help out for the previous spare, but at least he got a spare going into the next frame. Furman spares. That'll get us to Coro and Lapan. Lapan will go first. Lapan picks up 6 pins. Coro working on a strike. There leaves the 1-2-8. Lapan has the 1-3-6-9. And Lapan picks up the spare. Nice job. And a spare for Coro. Matt Jolliker up for Northeastern. And Jolliker gets 8 pins. And Munson for Beekmantown. Munson gets 7. Jolliker. And he gets a spare. And Munson. Left to double wood. Maybe a little disappointed. We have Robert. It's all but the 4-7. Now Douglas. It may sound like I'm mentioning their first names, but Douglas is his last name and Robert is his last name. So 2 guys are double first names. Robert leaves a 7 pin. I'll get us 2 Cokes. Let's check the team totals here. 212 to 246. Beekmantown leading. There's Cokes. There's the 1, 2, 4, 10. James St. Dennis. He's working on a triple. And he'll get 8 pins. Leave the 6-10. Folks is hoping. Nice spare there for St. Dennis. There's Furman. Furman with a strike. And recall up for Beekmantown. We left to 3-6. LePan with his second strike of the game. And 9 for the frame for Record. So let's see, Coro coming up for the Eagles. And we're up to Jolliker there over on lane 13 for the Cougars. Hey, got that spare just a frame or so ago, huh? 1, 2, 4, 10. With those Cokes, he missed that one. Jolliker said, I think I can cover it, so that's why he went for it. We have a 3-10 left here for Coral. Jolliker tries to do what Cokes was unable to do, pick up the 1, 2, 4, 10. And he'll get 8 for the frame. Cole will miss it. I think he's slipped. Like he slipped on his approach. Here's Robert. Robert with a strike. And Munson. And Munson with a strike. His sister is also bowling this year, so talking to his father earlier, and he said he had to kind of sit between them as much as he could, trying to be almost exactly between them. There's a strike for Douglas. And we'll have St. Denis ready to start the 5th frame. And Coke's ready to start for the Cougars. St. Denis for the strike. Coates leaves the 3-6-10. There's Recor. Recor with a strike. Coates picks up his spare. There's looking the wrong way over here on the other one. We got Carl up for Beekmantown. Leaves the 1-2-4. And Furman for the Cougars. Furman with a strike. Nine pins for Coral. Japan picks off 8. He's starting his 5th. And 9 pins for Munson. Japan will miss his spare. And Munson will miss his spare. There's Jolliker. A wiggling 10. And Douglas up for Beekmantown. And Douglas gets 9 in his first ball here in the 5th. Jolliker will miss his spare. He breezed by it, just barely touched it, and it wouldn't fall. There's Robert. Robert leaves the 6-8. Looks like 4:31 for Beekmantown, 3:71 for the Cougars. Robert picks up his spare. Cokes for the Cougars. It's a 9 pins. There's a pin rolling around there, and some people thought it was going to fall. Not me, but other folks. There's St. Denis. St. Denis with a strike. There's Cokes. And Cokes picks up his spare.
Let's go, Mark.
Record for Beekmantown. We're in the 6th frame. That leaves the 2, I'll make that 3, 6, 7, 10. Foreman. Foreman leaves the 3-10. Gave it a shot, good effort there by Record. Furman. And Furman leaves the 10 pin, doing 9 for the frame. Coral will step up for the Eagles. Coral gets 9. There's LePan. Pan throws his in the gutter. I don't know what is why the scores from this particular game aren't going up here. Seems to be consistent in the B-boys too. Coral gets spare. Here's LePan looking for a 10-pin spare, and he will get 6 of them. So I don't know why we're not getting the totals here from this game. But we're not. There's Munson. Leaves the 3-6. Jolliker up for the Cougars. He strikes. I don't know if the girls' numbers are low or what, but they are moving way faster than the boys. So they're going to be well into that 3rd game when we move down there. Apologies, we stayed down here because we relocated there. We're going to have trouble finding a view, and if we lost this view, we'd have trouble finding the view back here. When we move back, Robert gets a strike. So here's Douglas. Looks like the 9 pin.
I swear to God, relax.
Douglas. And he picks up his spare. So we'll get us to the 7th frame, and St. Denis will start things off for the Eagles. And a strike for St. Denis. A good crowd here at the Bowl Mart. On this December 10th, 2013. Strike for Recor. Still waiting for Coates. Coates is the lead bowler here. He should be a little more aggressive for getting up there and setting an example and getting his team rolling. It's 8 pins. Now Carl. And Paul will keep the strikes coming. Keeping them coming. It's 3 strikes for the first 3 bowlers here in the 7th. And Cougar, first bowler, has just finished his ball, and we're on the 4th bowler for Beekmantown. Munson up for the Eagles. Munson makes it 4 strikes in the 7th. Like that, yeah, Munson. There's Furman. 3 strikes. So that'll bring up Rapan for the Cougars, and Douglas will be the bowler for the Eagles. Rapan with a double. I thought I guess it wasn't a double. I thought he had a strike last time. I guess not. Okay, we got Joliker, and what's Douglas waiting for here? Joliker strikes. Douglas. 3 strikes. We had a lot of strikes here in the boys' game, but the girls have really moved along quickly. They are finishing up their game, and we're only finishing up the 7th frame here. So if you hear me encouraging these guys to get a little more speed in their step, that's why here I want to get the girls on here too, give them their fair share of coverage, and the boys are dawdling. The next bowler should be up there to start the next frame. That was a spare for Robert. Now Cokes will start the next frame. 8th frame, and like I said, the girls are repping up their 10th, so you guys have got to get a little more speed in their lineup there. They got a lot of strikes, and they're still going slow. There's a strike. Boys have got to get the lead out here, I think. There's St. Denis. Leaves the 5 pin. There's Furman. He leaves the 5 pin. A lot of that going around, I guess. Spare. And a spare for Furman. Spare for St. Denis. Recall up for the Eagles. LaFan for the Cougars. And the girls have started their 3rd game. LaFan leaves a 10 pin. Record lift, is it 2 or 3 here? I can't always tell when there's double wood. No double wood there. It's the 610. Now LaFan going after the 10 pin. Gonna miss it. Get us to Coral.
Absolutely.
Coral takes his sweet time and throws the strike. Now we'll bring up Joliker. Joliker gets 6 pins. Rico gets 9 pins, leaves the 4. Joliker. The spare. And spare for Ryan Munson. And Robert. There's double wood up there. You got the 1-5 and the 10. There's Douglas. And Robert couldn't get the 5. So Chris Cokes will make his way up, and he's going to beat St. Denis. And as slow as he's moving, he's got St. Denis beat. And St. Denis decides to get up. St. Denis with a better ball. Oaks. And the spare.
Come on, Mark, let's go.
Eight pins for St. Denis for the frame. Now it's Furman. Furman strikes. Record gets 9 pins. Here's the pan. The pan gets 8. We are in the 9th frame here. The pan, he misses his spare. And Coral working on a strike, actually working on a double. Steps up for the Eagles. Well, this ball will count triple. And it'll count 30 all by itself, but triple for Coral, and now Joliker up for the Cougars. Munson. And Joliker. Joliker picks up the spare. And Munson will be trying for a 10-pin spare. And he'll get 9 of them. Robert up. Robert with a strike. Oh my, losing my voice here. Douglas. Douglas with a strike.
Big 10 frame, boys. Big 10 frame.
We'll start the 10th. St. Denis and Cokes. St. Denis picks off 7. Cokes. Cokes picks off 9. Oh, and open for St. Denis. They'll finish with a 202. Cokes will also open. Well, he'll finish with a 179. And we got a split here with Precor. And Furman. Furman picks off 8 of them. 8 for the frame for Recor. So he'll get a 149. Furman. It's a 167. It'll be Coral and LaPan. Coral working on a triple. LaPan will go first. And he'll get 9 on his first ball. Coral. Double pinnacle. LaPan. And he will continue the trend. Give him a 121. 3 opens thus far for the Cougars. 2 so far for the Eagles, and I doubt if we're going to get a spare here, so we're going to have 6 opens so far. And 8 for the frame. So Coral will finish with a 177. And we got Joliker. Joliker gets 8 in his first ball. Bring up Munson. And Munson gets 9 pins. Joliker hopes to become the first one to mark here in the 10th frame. And he keeps it going. Incredible. 7, I think there were 7 no marks. Munson will surely change that, and he does. Becomes the first one to mark in the 10th frame. Well, here's Robert. And he strikes. And 9 pins for Ryan on his fill ball. Ryan Munson, that is. There's Robert looking to finish strong. He doubles. Joliker finished with a 170. We got Douglas up now. He's working on a triple. He's going to leave a tough spare. It's a spare that I think that folks picked up back in the when we were watching the V game. And Robert picks up the strike. 3 strikes out to give him a 181. So 818, 870, and add 3 more to it, I guess. 876, so 208 for Douglas. And that's going to wrap it up. We're going to move on to the girls. They've been waiting for us to get there, but they've been bowling while they've been waiting. Alright, we have made it down to the girls bowling. And looks like they are in the 4th frame. ball.
Right in the middle, run right into it. Come on.
Let's see, we are at Cassidy Nixon for the Cougars and Sarah Munson for the Eagles.
Come on, Peyton, let's go, girl. Light them up.
Oh, thank you very much.
Thank you.
And as soon as I recorded his daughter, the Munson family came over to renew their viewer support. We don't get a lot of support out of West Chazy, but John and Pam are two of our faithful ones, and we appreciate that. So if you're watching this, it's people like John and Pam Munson who are making all this possible here. It's Goslin missing her ball, and that one there, that was, who's that? Hayden Mattioli. Peyton Mattioli. So I'm going to pronounce it. Here's Jaden Goslin. And Goslin picks up her spare. Should be Harley Wells. The Beekmantown girls are actually Cheyenne Reeves is first, and Eliza Agony, Sarah Munson, Peyton Mattioli, and Harley Wells. The Cougars are Sabrina Fair, Autumn Rock, Cassidy Nixon, Jaden Goslin, and Madison Dumas. Here's Wells.
Spare, babe.
She spares.
Not a bad frame, girl.
And Dumas picks up 9 pins. I'm going to try to get a little more height on my camera here. Not less, but more. No, I'm fine. Thanks. Thanks anyway. Okay, that's Reeves. No, that's not Reeves. That's it. That's Cougars here. Dumas misses. Here's Sabrina Fair. Fair up for the Cougars. Looking for a spare. We're going to get 8 pins. And we got a little curve there from Cheyenne Reeves. And Autumn Rock now for the Cougars. And she picks up 6 pins. We pick a fence.
There you go. There you go.
And Reeves picks up the spare.
Stay level now, man. Follow through.
Alright, throws it in the gutter, and it'll bring up Eliza Agony. I'm leaning a little bit to the right here, I notice. There's a few pins for Cassidy Nixon. We'll attempt to level off our camera. That was Agony. Missing their spare was Nixon. Leaving the 5 pin was Sarah Munson from the fine Munson viewer supporter family. There's Goslin. And Goslin with a strike. How about that? Munson. And Munson picks up the spare. There's Dumas. Dumas is the, I don't know, what's the head pin or not? Looks more like 5 pin. Mattioli picks up about 8 pins. Dumas. Number 9 for the frame. Mattioli, nope, number 9 for the frame.
Take your time, my bad.
So that'll get us to Wells for the Eagles, and Reeves starting the 6th frame. Wells gets 8 pins. And Reeves gets 8 pins. Holly Wells going for a spare. She will miss it. 9 for the frame. And Reeves misses her spare. We got Sabrina Fair. And Eliza Agony. Agony, a strike for Eliza Agony. Now Fair. She'll get 8 for the frame. And we've got Munson up for Beekmantown. Picket fence plus probably the 8 pin. And we got Autumn Rock leaving 2. Munson will miss that picket fence entirely. And Rock misses her spare also. So now Peyton Mattioli will step up. And she believes it looks like to be the 4 pin. So is this Nixon? Ooh, strike for Cassidy Nixon. Strike for Cassidy Nixon. And a spare for Mattioli. There's Jaden Goslin. Goslin gets 6 pins. And a strike for Holly Wells. Channel 24, yeah, hometown cable. It'll be on Charter 15, but it'll also be on the internet. It's available on the World Wide Web. Okay, we got Fair trying to get a spare. We got Dumas. Now Fair. and she'll miss it. And Dumas with 7 for the frame is Rock for the Cougars. A strike for Autumn Rock. Even though it's 26 degrees outside, it is still autumn. Strike for Reeves. Nixon gets about 2 or 3. In the 7th frame.
Rake stuck on 15.
8 pins for Agony. Nixon misses her spare. Spare for Agony. There's Goslin. And Goslin picks off 8 pins. There's Munson. Strike for Sarah Munson. Goslin picks up her spare. Mattioli strike. Now Dumas, daughter of Coach Rick Dumas, leaves a 1-3-6. And we got Harley Wells up for Beekmantown. Wells leaves just the 2 pin. Dumas. Dumas spares. This will complete the 7th frame. Wells covers her spare. So it'll be Reeves working on a strike for Beekmantown. And Fair is working on an open for the Cougars. And 9 pins for Reeves. And 9 pins for Fair. I'll get us to Agony for the Eagles and Rock for the Cougars. All but the 5 pin for Agony. There's Rock, and Rock will hang on and get about 3 of them. She was working on a strike.
Put your hand up. You have to do your push-ups. Why? David has to do. You have to go together.
In the 8th frame.
Oh, I missed the 5 pin.
And spare for Agony. There's Rock. And Rock will pick up her spare. How about that? We're working on a strike, so it doesn't matter if she only got a couple that first ball. She gets 10 pins to add to her total. Ooh, little picket fence plus. She the one who did that last time and only got the 8-pin. Nixon picks up a couple. Munson here going. Going for a spare. And oh, left the head pin. All but the head pin. Now Nixon for the Cougars. She gets her picket fence knocked down. And Macioli. He leaves the 310. Goslin up for Northeastern. Goslin gets 7 on her first ball. Mattioli will pick up her spare rather nicely.
Good job.
Rightfully proud of herself on that one. Wells will be up for the Eagles as Goslin goes for her spare. Looking to complete the 8th frame here. Double wood, I didn't see that, I don't think. So Wells gets about 7. Here's Dumas. Dumas leaves a picket fence of sorts. Wells picks up his spare. Nicely done. What Dumas has here is the 2, 4, 7, and the 5. It's not the head pin. Just might do it. Yes, she does it. Nice job by Dumas. Fair, Sabrina Fair will avoid a split. Leaves just the 6-10. Looked for a while like the 7 might not fall, but it did. There's Reeves for the Eagles. And Reeves leaves the 2, 4, 5. Fair will miss the spare. Reeves picks up her spare. There's Rock. Rock plays the 4, 7, 8, 10. Agony. Agony with a strike. Rock going for a spare. She will. Oh, nice try. Almost got the 10 pin. We're in the 9th frame. Oh, baby split for Munson. Here's Nixon. Lose the 4-7. Munson has the 4-5, I think. I'm not sure what she's got. We'll see what she's getting. Getting 9 for the frame. Nixon gets spare. That was Mattioli. Here's Goslin. Goslin gets 5. Mattioli has the 139. A nasty double wood. And she gets it. She gets it. Goslin. And this is spare. And leaving the 10 pins as Wells. Dumas and Wells will wrap up the 9th frame. And we'll head quickly for the 10th. Dumas leaves the 139. And Wells picks up her spare. So the Eagles will move to the 10th frame. Dumas. That's what Dumas is waiting for. Here's a fair starting the 10th. And that double wood got Dumas. So she gets 9 for the frame. There's fair. In the gutter. And Reeves. Reeves the 1-2. Let's see, fair will finish with a 90. Only at 285 altogether. There's Rock. And Reeves. Reeves will have it open in the 10th. Cheyenne Reeves with a 126 for 20 all total. Rock will finish with a 114, 368 altogether. And it'll get us to Agony. Agony gets 7 pins in her first ball. Now Nixon for the Cougars. And Nixon gets 8 pins. Agony. Number 9 for the frame. Nixon. Okay, Agony finishes with a 175, which is pretty darn good. We're going to watch Munson. And she will strike. We've got Goslin. Goslin gets 7 pins. Let's see, 11 for Nixon, following Rocks. 114, here's Munson.
Excuse me, but you're going to beat all of us in series. Please go play somewhere else. Yeah, potato!
Spare for Goslin. Munson with a spare. Sarah Munson gets a 145. And Goslin. We get 8 with a fill ball. Mattioli gets 5 with her first ball in the 10th. So let's see, Goslin finished with a 115.
Chris, we got anybody up here?
9 pins for Mattioli. 8 pins for Dumas on their first ball. Oops, here's Wells. Dumas will get 9 for the frame. Mattioli will get 8. It's a 144 for Mattioli, and Wells got at 8. That's 134 for her. A 110 for Dumas. So that's the team totals there for the third game. And that'll wrap it up here from the Bowl Mart. Beekmantown at Northeastern Clinton at the Bowl Mart on December 10th, 2013. Thanks for watching. And for folks like the Munsons who understand what viewer-supported local television is all about and support our continuing efforts, in-town cable TV